Super excited to be with you guys today. It's Thursday, and we have the beautiful and amazing Julia Donaldson from Portland, Maine. And I am so excited as we've been doing these interviews with graduates of my 8-week program. You guys, one of my graduates said this this week, and I'm going to adopt it. They said, Rebecca, your program is like Harvard Business School for massage therapists. So I'd like to introduce, one of our esteemed graduates here, right? Valedictorian of the class. So, Jules, why don't you just introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit just about your practice, how long you've been a massage therapist, your family situation, just the kind of basics so that we can connect with you and everybody knows who you are.
Yeah. So, hi guys, I'm Jules. I work out of Portland, Maine. And I've been in practice for about 5 years, in business for myself for about 1.5 years. I'm a mom. I've got 2 little ones at home. I have a 1.5 and 3.5-year-old. And my business is centered around moms. So I work with prenatal and postpartum moms. I do see a few standard clients, but that's the bulk of what I do. I'd say probably 95% of people are either pregnant or were at one point. And I became really passionate about that after having my own kids, and knew I wanted to work with those people. And it took me a little while to really figure out how I was going to do that. I thought I wanted to go to nursing school for a little while, and then I looked into it and realized that takes a lot of time, which I did not exactly have. So after doing Rebecca's program, I realized there was a way to do that. And so that's kind of the steps that have led me here, minus a lot of the highlights.
Yay. And did you know before the program that you wanted to do prenatal?
Not necessarily. I knew, like I said, that I was passionate about it. But I honestly, like as an LMT, I didn't even realize that was a thing. I didn't realize people just did, chose a niche. I didn't realize that was a thing. I was like, I work on everyone.
Don't.
Yes. So I was in that. You can group me into that category, that I didn't really realize that was possible. But I knew, like I said, I wanted to work with those people. I just didn't know how to do it.
Yeah. Awesome. And tell me I like to start at the end and we'll work back to the beginning. So the main outcomes that you got from the program, like what kind of results did you see? Just what shifted for you during the 8 weeks?
Yeah. So I'd say probably 2 main outcomes. The first is that I'm legitimately like making money now, consecutively. I'm booked out like crazy, which is great. I know what I'm doing now. I have a plan, thanks to you. But one of the biggest things, which is kind of behind the scenes, was a lot of the mindset work that we do in your program, which again did not realize was a thing. But I had a lot of issues around money because I struggled with it for a lot of years, and it rolled my business, it rolled my marriage, it rolled my life in general, because when you don't have it, it's a problem in every sense of the word, in every area of your life. So that was one of the biggest obstacles for me, and one of the hardest parts in the program was kind of wrapping my mind around failure and money, and how that kind of it wasn't working for me. Yeah. And because of your program, I learned how to make that work for me and how to not think so negatively about it. Because it just it's like a roller coaster, it's like up and down and up and down and up and down. And it was ruining everything, honestly.
Yeah. I was just going to ask, tell me just if you're willing to share more about just what, because everybody wants to have a successful practice and success in their career, but everybody's why is different. Everybody has an underlying motivation for like why it was so compelling for you to fix those problems. So like, what was it, just because things were so bad, getting so bad at home? What was going to happen if you didn't do something about it?
So family life was hard. You and I talked about this. Family life was rough, because like I said, it's not like not having money isn't a problem. You can leave at work. It comes home with you. And when you're struggling with bills and car payments and daycare and rent and mortgage, it does affect your everyday life. And it was making it so it was hard to be present with my family, because I was constantly worried about it, worried about one thing or another. But it was always on my mind. So my husband and I, we were bickering, and that made things really, really tough. So, the family life was suffering for sure. Obviously the business was suffering. After coming off of my second maternity leave, unpaid, because I worked for myself, I found a space for rent in an integrative practice. So, in my mind, I'm like, oh, well, all these chiropractors and nurses and everyone's going to just refer people to me, because who doesn't need massage?
Right.
And it did not work that way. It was kind of every man for himself. So the business was struggling a lot. And it was just in every facet of my life, it was affected by it.
Wow. So how long have you guys been married?
It has been a little over 6 years.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. I often say, I think I heard one of my sisters say this, that money doesn't buy happiness, but money solves all of the problems caused by not having money.
That's deep.
I mean, isn't it true? Right?
Yeah.
It solves all of the problems caused by not having money. And I feel like, so some of your money issues, like, what do you feel like that? What do you think that was? You said you had fears around money. Like, what was it? Just the fear of failure, or what was there anything else there?
Yes, it was the fear of failure, but I had been struggling for a number of years, really. So just kind of like, there were all these layers of money and issues with money. It would keep me up at night. Like I said, my husband and I were fighting about it. I would worry about, how am I going to pay my car payment? Are they going to come repo my car today?
Wow.
Paying for daycare when I don't have clients, when I'm not actually making money. That was one of the things we'd fight a lot about.
That's huge. I see that one a lot. Like, I'm paying for childcare and I have no clients and I'm not making any money. And it's just like the mom guilt.
Right. Mom guilt is for real.
Yeah.
Wow. So there was just it was a big jumble of many different reasons of why me and money were not good friends. Because it had, like I said, for a number of years, I had none, more or less, or just scraping by, if that. So it was a struggle. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. You said you'd hit rock bottom and knew something just needed to change, because things were really tense. You were going to lose your business. You had started your business before we met?
A couple months prior. And like I said, I had joined an integrated practice where I was, working for myself, but in this building and sharing, rooms, or not rooms, but, there were a bunch of offices around me with other practitioners. So in my mind, I'm like, this is perfect. They're all going to come see me.
But it didn't happen tell them that way.
Me. Not at all. No. I may have gotten a couple, but it was not a steady stream of clients by any means.
Is that the delusional optimism? Because I see this a lot, and I love that we talked about that, because I really do see so many massage therapists that are just like, oh, it's just all going to work out. I'm in this great place and I'm going to get referrals. They have no business experience, no marketing strategy, no branding to speak of. Is that what we're talking about with the delusional optimism? Just kind of hoping that things are just going to turn out just because you're there and you love what you do?
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, well, I love what I do and I want to help people. So this must work. Other people have made this work. I can make this work. But I had no actual idea of how to put that in motion.
Yeah. I think it's the biggest myth I bust all the time, is that do what you love and the money will follow. I'm like, or do what you love and you're going to be broke ass poor, because you have to know how to monetize what you love.
Right.
You know what I love to do? I love to just lay and float in the pool, but I've not figured out a way to make money doing that. Lay on a beach drinking margaritas. That's what I love. I don't think the money's going to follow anytime soon, Yeah, no, totally. Okay. And then how did you find me?
So when I went into business for myself, quote unquote, in those early months, I had found, or I just kind of looked on Facebook for massage therapy groups. And I had joined the big group that we're in now, I believe. And I I had come across your webinar, the 5 shifts, and that really spoke to me, because I think there's a little piece in there where you talk about where you were when you started, which I was like, oh my God, that's my life right now.
Living on
Your
food
kids are like
storage.
practically the same ages. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember that about you. I was like, oh my gosh, you are me, Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I
And
watched that
then,
and I called my dad. I'm like, Dad, this woman is amazing. I have to talk to her. We got to figure this out. So
oh, did your
it went
dad
from there.
support you in being in the program? Did he help
Yes.
you?
Yeah. They were actually, my mom and dad were actually, they're awesome, but they were on the discovery call. We did like a conference
Oh, that's right.
type
That's
situation.
right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I wanted to make sure that they had, if they're going to loan you the money or, invest in your business, then they are
Because
going
we
to
know
want
I
to
didn't
ask
have
me.
it.
They're going to want to ask me questions, and I love that you were so resourceful. In fact, I should have done this. Now I thought about it. I've got this whole binder over there that probably the notes are from our phone call.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I still have. I'm just curious, actually. Let me go. I'm gonna look and see, because I know I have your intake form, but your application, but I want to see if I have your notes. While I grab that, talk about the results. So you were really hesitant for some of the marketing strategies that I teach, right? You're really hesitant, but to talk about what results you've gotten and have been getting in terms of like how that empowered you to get people through your door in a loving, respectful, integrous way. Right?
Right. So yeah, so some of the marketing strategies that you teach at first, at least to me and probably to a lot of other students, can be
I get some flack. I get a little bit of
yes,
flack, but I'm like, hey, I'm the expert here, okay?
I'm sure there's resistance, and it honestly, like, so people, go through the program, but not everyone gets everything done in the program. A lot of the things kind of happen after, or like you start to incorporate these things as you are able or when you can. And so there was this particular marketing strategy that I had everything ready to go, but it took me probably a couple months, to be honest,
to actually pull the trigger.
To pull the trigger and really like get it out there. And when I did, I had great response. I still have great response. I still use that strategy today.
Love it.
Yeah, in many different ways, and it's brought in a lot of new people, and my clients will then tell their friends about it. So it's been great, and I think I'll probably use them forever.
Keep at it, man. If it works, it works.
Yeah.
I'm flipping through my notes. I'm trying to remember. You did the program when? Let's see.
It was August of 2018.
Oh, you should be in here then. Let me just look. Hold on. Oh, there you are. Look at that.
I'm scared.
Look at that. Yeah. When I asked you on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed you were like 15. To making this work. Your goal was to make $4,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Have you gotten a new? Oh, you wanted a Jeep.
I have a Jeep.
You have a Jeep?
Yes.
Did I miss this?
Well, it kind of like didn't happen how I wanted it to. My car died, so it was a whole thing. It wasn't I'm gonna go get a Jeep, but I do have a Jeep.
I remember we talked about it because I told you I had just bought my Jeep, which is like my dream car, right?
Yep.
And I was like, you're gonna have a Jeep, and you have your freaking Jeep.
I do. I have my Jeep.
I'm gonna cry. Seriously. Oh my gosh. And then let's see. You had also said, let's see what else. Yep, there your parents were on the phone call, David and Jean.
Yeah.
You had no business knowledge, wanted to do a prenatal massage, had no idea how to do that. Have you taken a vacation yet? You said you hadn't taken one in 10 years. So I'm just curious if that's on your radar now.
Kind of. I mean, we went camping with the kids up in Bar Harbor. Yeah. So I don't know if you consider camping with your kids like a legit vacation.
Well,
but
what do you consider?
It was a break. It was a break from
work. Yeah, at least it was a break from the grind,
Yeah. So I did take a little vacation.
I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. So you said it was a shift for me. It was when we talked about what happened in your practice and your life. You said it was a lot of work. Yeah. It's even more work now, Julia.
Oh yeah.
It's even more work now. I mean, the program, since you've been in it, is evolving. Mm-hmm. It's even more work. I demand even more from people, but the results are commensurate. It's pretty cool. So yeah. So let's see, you did your research, your homework, you did the mindset and money. You said the mindset and money exercises, and it was mind-blowing for you. What was the biggest discovery for you about that? Or the biggest breakthrough that you got?
I think the biggest thing was that money wasn't the problem.
Yeah.
It was how I was thinking about money. That was the problem.
Mm. Yeah,
Because
which
people,
puts you at cause versus at the effect of your money
right.
issues.
I'm not
Yeah.
just like floating along and everything is everyone else's fault. It's like, oh,
Yeah, I'm a
okay.
victim of money, you know? Yeah,
Right.
totally.
Which is how I always thought about it.
Yeah,
And now it's like,
totally.
well, if you don't like what's going on, then do something about it.
Exactly.
Which when you're in, if you're at rock bottom and you're in the throes of things, that's, if someone says that to you, you're like, oh, okay.
Right.
But you broke it down into like understandable little pieces and little chunks at a time, which for me, and it took me like a long time to get through that stuff. And I had to do it a few times to really figure it out and understand it. But that was one of the biggest things for me. It's like, well, oh, okay.
Wow.
So I'm part of the problem.
Yeah. So it's not just that money hasn't, it's not just that I haven't won the lottery. That's my problem.
Yeah.
It's that I have some blocks in my relationship with money that need to be fixed so that you can make it. And lo and behold, you started making money. So you said,
I did.
You said my first month in business after I finished the program, I tripled my income from the previous month. So you went from 800 to 2,400.
Yes.
And then now over a year later, you just had your best month in October.
I did. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been
in sales.
Crazy.
And
I work 3 days a week.
Wow.
3.5. I work 3 days and then one evening a week, but I'm not like, it's not 5 days a week for me. Like I said, I'm a mom, so I take a little time to be home with my kids. But I still bust ass on the days I'm at work. And
I love it. I love it. So tell us where you are now today. Bookings, revenue, if you're comfortable sharing that, just any other aspects of your business, like what I'd love to know, like what's the new norm for you? What does life look like now?
The new normal is I book out anywhere between like 6 and 8 weeks. As of like the 3rd week in October, I was fully booked through the end of the year. Wow. So right now I think I'm booking at like mid to late January. Any given point, I'm booking out like weeks in advance. I've got a waiting list of, I think, 20 to 30 people or more. Wow. So generally, if people cancel, I'm able to fill the spot, no problem, if I want to. Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to take a second.
Awesome.
So
you get to choose. That's good.
Yes. Yeah. It's nice to have that choice and to not be like, oh my God, someone canceled. Now I don't have that extra, however much. So my weeks are full, my days are full. I generally see between or hands-on, I do about 4 to 6 hours of hands-on work a day. What else is question? And generally gross around between 4 and 6K is the normal, in this industry. Things tend to go up and down a little bit, which I'm now okay with because the ups are the ups and the downs are the downs, and I'm prepared for those.
Totally.
And that's not awesome. That I have the downtime, but if I did, I would, I have the strategies to get some more income. So
yeah, but it seems like, and this is something a lot of people miss, is that you need to be prepared for the flux.
Yes.
Like
financially
in your case,
and mentally.
Yes, mentally and financially, and that you've got a waiting list. So oh, I got a client drop out. Whoosh, I slide somebody in there. No revenue is lost, right?
Yep.
But then also in some of the strategic planning that we teach you, it's like, it's like, plan for 10 months. Plan to make all your revenue in 10 months instead of 12. And that way, if you have 2 crappy months, or you've got December, you've got summer vacation, whatever, it's like that's like such a simple tweak that people don't even think about.
Right.
If you just put all your revenue for the year into 10 months as a goal instead of 12, then you can calm down when you have,
right. And if you make
as long
extra,
as you're on track,
cool.
As long as you're on track and you're doing all the things I tell you to do to meet those goals steadily,
right.
Then you do have that slush, you have that wiggle room. So that's not like, something happened and I'm going to die here, So
right.
Good. So your reach for the stars goal, yes, in the program was 4K, and you're definitely doing that. I love that. Was that since I'm just curious, you said, before the program, you're making 800 a month. By the end of the program, you had brought in 2,400. Was that steady? Did you consistently or did you ever go back to 800?
No. There was a little up and down. Like I said, that's
Okay.
part of the deal. And there were some strategies that I was, like I said, like took me a little while to get to and to really start to dial in. Yeah.
Some things you don't have to execute until you're in that situation. You go, oh shit, this is what Rebecca's been talking about. Now I got to kick in the afterburners, you know?
Right. So once, so it hovered around there for a little while. And then I think, I don't know exactly, but somewhere in the spring is when things started. All of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I'm booked out 4, 5, 6 weeks. And I'm in my head, you know, that negative thinking was like, oh, it's not going to stay that way. This is just this cool little fad and I'm like, great, this is cool, but it stayed. And then it got, you know, more and more and more.
So great.
Yeah. So it's
great.
It's been amazing. Truly.
I'm so proud of you. I mean, like, so I just got on my calculator, right? Cause I was just curious, you know, is that if we just added 1,600 a month, which is essentially what you said, 800 to 2,400, and then it stayed that. Now it's gone up, but all I did was take the 1,600 extra that we helped you to make and multiply that by 12 months. Now you've been out of the program on like a year and a half ish, something like that. Or okay, a year and maybe 15 months, something like that, right? So just an extra $1,600 a month that you didn't know how to make before, we've added almost $20,000 a year to your income. Now it's more than that. 19,200, you know, that's just 1,600 a month, but you've even gone up to 4, 5, you know, 6,000. So if we even do, let's say 4,000, you said was your dream goal. Yep. And you were at 800 before. See, I like to look at things at return on your investment, right? Is 3,200 a month that you're now making that you weren't making before you knew how to do that. So if we multiply that by just 12 months, that's an extra $38,400 that we've helped you to make in the last year. Was it worth it to you?
Oh yeah.
Is that a good ROI?
That is. I should
be charging $38,000 for my program. I'd be like, don't worry, if you just do it,
you'll make it
do
back.
What we tell you to do, you'll make it back in the next year. I mean, really, that is 100% return on your investment. You know, I should charge $38,000. You guys think I should charge $38,000? Oh my gosh. I'm so proud of you. Seriously, especially you guys all know I have a soft spot in my heart for all the prenatal therapists because that was what I did, you know, I had Julia, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I had a dream when I had opened Salt Lake Prenatal Massage and I was in my final location before I sold it. And I was in my dream, I was driving down the road to work on this main, road that my clinic was on. And as I was driving, I saw all of these other prenatal practices on the way. Like I saw they had like marquee signs and such prenatal massage while I was like driving the 5 miles to work, right? And you would think, since I had like just invested in this big 3,400 square foot location with a yoga studio and all this stuff, that I would have been like, oh, other people are stepping on my turf, right? But in the dream, which was puzzling to me, and I think was part of what set me on the path that I'm on now, is in the dream, when I saw the signs, I said, I've done my job. You know, and I was like, well, that's kind of curious. Like it was like, I can close the clinic now. And I was like, why did I even think that in my dream? It was because I think ultimately I knew what I wanted to do was empower a bunch of prenatal massage practices all over the world and make that available to women everywhere, you know. So although I obviously coach anybody in any type of practice or help people create any kind of niche practice, I am just particularly happy when I see the prenatal ones thriving, because those are my little babies. Those are my little babies, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, super proud of you. How do you think life has changed for your kids since you've gotten this dialed in?
I think we have more fun now. Yeah. Like I said, I'm able to be present now when I'm home with them. We financially can afford to do things, which, you know, is one of those things where before it was like, oh, we could go do this, but we don't have any money. I don't know how many times people would ask us to do things and we said, oh, I can't really make that work right now. I don't really, little strapped for cash. Like, how sick of that was I? I just said that all the time and I was so sick of hearing it come out of my mouth. So it's been, you know, nice to not to worry about that. And we're here. I'm here when I'm here, you know, when I'm home now.
Yeah. You're
And
really
it's
present.
just, yeah, I don't worry about my business when I'm here, and I don't worry about home when I'm at work. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but
no, it totally does. We talk about that. That is the biggest. If you're a mom and you're watching this right now, there's a cure for mom guilt. Okay. I literally was just coaching one of my graduates on that very issue yesterday, because it was just that whole issue of when I'm at work, I feel guilty if I'm not productive because I could be home with the kids. But when I'm home with the kids, I'm not fully present with them because I'm not productive at work. So I'm trying to work while I'm at home with them. And it's that push pull, it's that catch 22, you know? And so what you said is actually really, really important, where moms are seeking that balance and they want to feel present with their kids, but also successful in business. And that's the key, is you have to have enough clients and you have to be making enough money so that you're productive with your time at work, which means then you can be fully present with your kids at home.
right.
Hugely important.
Exactly.
Hugely important. Congratulations.
Thank
Any
you.
final words of encouragement or advice for our viewers?
Yeah, I would tell the people out there that are struggling. I have a lot of LMT friends that are doing what I was doing, where they're just they strike out on their own, and it's not, you don't really have a specific goal in mind. And I tell everyone about your program because I'm kind of obsessed with it. Even like LMTs I don't know, I'm like, listen, you need to get into this. But so, and a lot of them, like close ones, will say, I don't really know what I want to do. And I'm like, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew I had to do
Not a
something.
prerequisite.
Yeah, you
That's
don't
the
have
point.
to.
That's
You
why
don't
you
have
need
to
the program, is help you figure that out.
right.
You know?
And I think some people think that, but I would say, like, if you don't know necessarily what you want to do, or you don't know your niche yet, that's okay. That's part of the program. And just, if you're down and out, there are things you can do. You can find some help. There is help out there, and you can turn things around. You can be successful. I would say, I was in a place where I didn't know that was possible. And when I found out that it was, I jumped on the chance, because I didn't have another option, really. It was like, go big or go home. And
and struggle. You can't stay stuck where you are.
There wasn't a choice for me to keep doing what I was doing, because it wasn't working.
So
there are things you can do, and there are ways to fix the problems, and it might not be what you think it is. The problem might not be what you think it is.
It really is. Oh, well, hello. Well, hello there.
Hi, honey. Say hello.
Oh, so cute. Well, I really, and I am honored that you trusted me, because whenever I do these 60-minute calls with people, you remember, it's more like I'm interviewing you, right? It's more like I'm asking you a bunch of questions, because I got to find out what's the real problem. Is it a problem I even solve? I wouldn't take a dime from you unless I was confident that I could help you get where you wanted to go, right? And I always look at, before I invite somebody into the program, are they dedicated? Are they going to persevere? Are they somebody who wants to make more than just a living, but they want to be a light in the world with the gifts that they have, and it's important for me that, and I want you to know, that I've always believed in you. Like from that day one, it was just like, you've just said, I know I can make it work. I just need the tools, and now you have the tools. You had the internal drive and the commitment and the passion, and then you got the tools and you went out and made it happen. So congratulations to you. And truly, thank you for trusting me. I just love and adore you, and so grateful that you got those results for yourself and your family and your clients too.
Yes, it's worked for everyone. Everyone's been really happy.
Good work. All right. Well, go take care of your kids there. I can see
they
need you. You're welcome. Thanks, Julie. I appreciate your time today.
Right. Thank you. Take care.
You're so welcome. All right. So that is Julia, you guys. She is awesome. And I hope I really just hope that inspires you. That, I know that there are so many women out there. Obviously, massage is a female dominated field. And that's a real issue, is that we get torn between being a good mom that's fully engaged with and present with our kids, but also doing what we want to do on the business side of things. And as somebody who struggled and overcame that, and now teaches other people how to overcome that, I definitely want you to know that that's possible, that you can have that balance between your work and your family life, and that you can have a successful massage practice. In fact, having a successful massage practice is the key. I feel like as a mom, I always took my stress out on my kids. When I was frustrated with my business, or tight with money, or disappointed, and just any of that stuff, my kids were the unwitting victims of all of that, you know? And so that's so much more of the fuel behind why I do what I do. It's not just about helping you guys get bodies on your tables. It's about you having the life that you want to have, and that your practice can and should absolutely support that. Okay. You don't have to struggle. There are proven strategies out there to help you to get what you want. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any questions, actually, I've looked at let me just check in on the live stream. I don't think there were any live questions, but as you guys are watching the replay, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. If you want to ask me anything, feel free to just message me or message me through my Facebook page. It's just Rebecca Overson Coaching. And then you can also contact me through my website, Rebecca, or what is it? It's rockyourmassagepractice.com, rockyourmassagepractice.com. And we have so many spots available every week for participants in my 8-week mentoring program. And if that's something that you're looking for help with and really want to create a thriving, sustainable practice, then I would invite you to apply and schedule a 60-minute call with us, and we'll look together and see if it's a good fit. If it's not, we'll let you know that. And if it is, we'll let you know all the details so that the power is in your hands to make a choice about what you want to create with your future. Okay. So thanks for being a part of my community, you guys. I love you. Thank you for all that you bring, and keep uplifting each other. Okay. We'll talk to you soon.